Joining me now is Daphne Richards, a county horticulturist. And Daphne, I know a lot of us are excited to get going on our spring planting. Temperatures are warming up, days are getting longer. But tell me, what are some things we need to think about before we even step outside, put shovel to the ground?
I'd say the first thing for people to remind them is just to slow down. Maybe just take a lawn chair, go out and sit in the space and experience it, and just think about it, philosophically for a moment before you rush out to buy plants.
Is there anything that needs to be in the ground earlier rather than later?
Everything that you're going to plant in the spring needs to be in the ground earlier rather than later. The only caution on that is anything that's either tropical or heat loving. Something like a lantana, you don't want to put it in the ground anytime before danger of a last frost, which is in a few weeks. Things like that you want to wait on. Your vegetables, I would say go ahead and get those in the ground as transplants. Don't plant seeds at this point, it's a little late for that. But be prepared to cover them if we have a frosty night. You don't want them to get frostbit overnight.
What about grass? I know a lot of lawns took a beating with the freeze that we had. Is there anything in particular, whether it be fertilization, aerating, do we need to worry about that yet?
People often want to fertilize a little earlier than they need to, just in general. And this year, especially with the hard temperatures that we had on our lawns, we may have some dead areas, we may have some completely dead lawns. So don't get in a hurry to fertilize. Wait until the lawn starts to green up and gets actually some growth on it. Because if you fertilize earlier than that, number one, your lawn may be dead from the freeze. But number two, they just are going to be slower growing back this year because they were so stunted. And until they are actively growing, the fertilizer you apply, they will not be able to take it up because they're not growing.
Daphne, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure.